Owen Harris to go.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the official European League of Football show. On today's episode, we are heading southeast to Turkey to taking a closer look at the Istanbul Rams, one of our new franchises. And as you can see, I'm sitting here with the head coach and general manager, Val Gunn, and Australian quarterback, Gunn Stegman. Hello, guys. Welcome to the show and welcome to the European League of Football.
Thank you so much, Danny. Really appreciate being here.
Thanks for having us
for the opportunity.
So how are things going, Val? You are in Turkey already. How is it over there?
It's busy, really busy. So, we're kind of in that spot with all those teams were last year, right? That kind of running, having to do that. And it's hectic and it's chaotic, but it's exciting and fun, at the same time, because it's something that hasn't ever happened, certainly not here. And the reason I'm back in Europe for sure.
Yeah. And Jared, you are still in Australia. What are you doing over there? How are things going during the off season? And when are you coming to Europe?
Yeah, so I guess the only thing that's changed is like training is fully ramping up now. So getting ready, preseason training, getting the body right for May when I'll head over to Istanbul. But basically, it's hard to get excited just because you have to do so many things before you go. And I'm trying to take it like one step at a time. And like many coaches say, just day by day. And when it comes to the time, then the excitement really kicks in.
And well, you've played in Sweden and in Germany before, but is it going to be your first trip to Turkey?
Well, I was stopped over in the airport during a military coup. That was a lot of fun. That was a few years ago, but haven't seen much of Turkey, no. So that was one of the main reasons I was really interested in Istanbul, because it's totally different, I would say. I'm predicting anyway. So yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
It's a rich culture with a strong and rich history. So definitely a lot of things to explore. But you are there to work. And as we just saw, your job contains a lot of traveling. You are able to work from abroad. Was this also one of the reasons that made you want to become a professional football player, or what made you fall in love with the sport?
Okay, well, that's a loaded question. Well, first of all, I guess it all started, like my best friend is Canadian. So when I was like 15 years ago, I think I was 17 at the time, he had a football in his house, and we went to the park, just threw some spirals. Perfecting that was like just like the thing I wanted to do, just make that perfect throw. And then I played quarterback ever since, from my first year, like 15 years ago, and loving that. And so to be able to continue doing that is like a dream come true, and do it professionally. Like as an Australian, you don't like foresee that. Like everyone grows up playing rugby or Australian rules footy or cricket or things like that. They have no concept of playing American football. So like for me, this is a dream come true. I love American sport culture. And like you said, like my job, I can't do it from everywhere, but I'm a high school teacher. My principal is very flexible and has let me out for 5 months, which is really, really nice of her.
And now you joined the European League of Football. And beside the fact that you are going to explore Turkey, was there another, I don't know, reason for you to join this league and to become a part of the Rams?
Well, I think the main, like I touched on before, the main allure was that different cultural experience. I did spend the year in Kiel playing for the Baltic Hurricanes, which is a wonderful time in my life. Loved it. But I thought, doing something different would be more interesting to me. And I played with a Turkish player when I was in Sweden. His name is Ivinda. And shout out to Ivinda if you're watching this. He's the toughest player I've ever met. And I'm just assuming that the Turkish football players are just going to be tough as nails, which is exactly what you want in a football team. So if they bring that then I think we're going to be a bit of a force to be reckoned with.
Well, and you're going to be the leader. So, Val, what made you choose Jared as your quarterback? What makes him the best for the team?
Well, it's funny because I actually watched Jared when he was in Japan in the X League. And I don't know if it was Jared's own video or the team had kind of made a background video on him and just the day in the life of him, or really the week, and him prepping for the football game on the weekend. And I believe, Jared, you were working at a hotel, I think.
Yeah, so night shift at a hotel. That was very conducive to performance for the weekend.
And then, of course, you get to see a bit of the football, which we know he's talented and playing in a super competitive league. Japan's league's extremely good. So you get that side of it. And then I did watch him a little bit on the Australian. Was that the World Championships or some sort of competitive game? And same thing, Australia was just tough, and he was tough and made some plays against some great players. And then, of course, he goes to Kiel, and I think it's 50 touchdowns that year in Kiel. So we know what he can do, and for us, we've got to fit the right guy in the system. And quarterback for my offense, that's the most important part of it. And I've had some really good ones in the past. Very fortunate to have him, but it's the same for Jared. I trust him. He's a leader. He's a veteran, and we got to have that. And he's tough as well. This guy loves football more than anybody.
And what else can you tell me about your roster? Like what players have you signed already? What are you still looking for?
Right. Well, we got a bit of a British invasion coming. So we've got, I think, 4 British players. So we have Chad Waldron on the defensive side. He's a secondary guy, physical, athletic, really good player. Of course, Zach Blair, everybody's going to remember him from Stuttgart. We had to go up against him when I was with the Panthers. And he is a nonstop, 100%, every play. He's going to give you everything. So I'd rather have that guy on my team than have to go up against him. Jamari Milliken, super athlete, will play corner, just a do everything kind of weapon. And dangerous in the kick game as well. That's where we're going to be really good. Noah Alstott is a Swedish national team corner, so he'll play that other corner spot. Young, but again, just physical, athletic, talented. Taking a flyer on a rugby player who's just an absolute monster in Najee. He's 6'5", 350, and just destroyed a university league, on defense playing. So he's going to be raw, but certainly has the potential to be an elite player in the league. Offensive side of the ball, of course, Jared's going to have some help. So that's always nice when you get Tyrese Fisher, and he's another rugby sort of sensation that everybody saw. I think it was 3 million views on YouTube. First international guy to go over and play in a high school all-star game. But he's physical. He's a big physical, but he's also a 4.3 guy. So you're talking a 220 running back that runs a 4.3. Then we have Jalen Conwell, and he is lightning in a bottle. I mean, when you just have to see this guy in person, and he's sort of like, I think, like Devonta Smith, where everybody at Alabama would just say, why is this guy going to get the Heisman? And he shouldn't do it. He's not big enough. Doubt on Jalen, and he's going to do things. And he's another legit, 4-4 type of running back receiver, and we kind of move him around and stuff in that spot. We have the Japanese guy. So Kino is what we call him. Manyuki is his full name, but we'll go nickname Kino. Kino's another one of those guys in the league. He's a national team Japanese guy, plays in the X League. Devastating kick returner, super slot guy, super fast, physical, strong. So he's
Frozen.
bench receiver. So, I mean, he is that. So he's very agile. And then we're still waiting on a couple signings that we've got that we should close out. We did sign Chris Wedderburn. He played against us when I was with the Panthers. Again, another guy that was down in Turkey. We win the game pretty handily, but Wedderburn's a beast and had a big, long touchdown against us. He's in the best shape of his life. And to have a physical, 6'2", 220 outside receiver, we've got some weapons. And then, of course, the Turkish guys, what Jared said is they're tough. They're really tough. These guys they're going to fight and do it. And we've just got to get everybody on the same page. We're going to be okay.
It sounds very promising. And we got to know Jared's story a little bit, and you just mentioned that you were also working with the Wroclaw Panthers, who we know from our league. So what's your football story? I know you came to Europe in 1997, and you also coached in different countries. What made you, or what path brought you to the ELF now?
Well, so that's a funny story. So I took the Panthers to the championship in 2019. I have a long relationship with them, very good. I love the guys there. It's a fantastic organization. But in 2020, we come back to Europe. We return for the Panthers, and I honestly feel like we have the best team in Europe. We had upgraded from that roster of 2019 to just a fantastic roster. COVID wrecked it, and really I was done. Like I was done with Europe, and I'd won the championships here and things like that. So I didn't really want to come back for anything. There wasn't anything there that was attractive. I didn't want to go in the GFL. I didn't want to do anything. Then the rumors of ELF pop up, and how they're doing this in a COVID. I'm like, there's no way. It's just not going to happen. But as the season materializes and they get it through, wow, they did it. So I get excited for that because that's something that hasn't happened in Europe before. Really since NFL Europe, right? And it's a different approach, but I know what they want to get to, and I know the effort that's put into the league, and there's nothing like that here. So that's what attracted me back, and really one of the only reasons I'm back is to do that. I know the league wanted to get Istanbul. Istanbul reached out. They wanted to get in the league. So that was kind of how we meshed it up all together.
Well, we are definitely glad to have you on board, our fifth nation within this league now. And as you were just saying, season 1 was a huge success and we saw some amazing games. I have no doubt that year number 2 is going to be even better, and the schedule is out now. So let's take a closer look at your schedule, where the Istanbul Rams are going to play in year 2, or your first year. And we should see a little picture of that now. Anyways, you are starting, you are starting into the season number 2 with the very first game. You have the season opener on June the 4th, Saturday, against the Cologne Centurions in Cologne. What can you tell us? What's your expectation for this game, and what is it like to be a part of the very first game?
I am super excited for this one. So the general manager, David Drain, actually played for me when I was in Paderborn with the Paderborn Dolphins when they were in the GFL 1. So it's always good to meet up with, ex-coaches, ex-friends. I've been around here. So, one of those old school guys that have been here so long. So it's exciting. I'm really glad that we're that one game on Saturday. So we kind of get all the attention. And they, of course, have said that, they're really trying to hype it up and have a great first game for us. So that one's going to be exciting.
Yeah. And you're part of the Southern Conference, which means you're grouped together with the Barcelona Dragons, the Rheinfire, and the Cologne Centurions. And then you have 3 interconference games facing the Hamburg Sea Devils, Vienna Vikings, and the Berlin Thunder. And as we can see, week number 2 brings you all the way to Berlin. And I have no doubt that this is going to be a tough game because Berlin will be a new team.
Well, if I can speak on this one, I was talking to the coaches last year for the Berlin Thunder, and I was hoping to go there. But like Coach said, COVID was like a big question mark. So I ended up not heading there. But I for some of the players that I knew were playing there, they have so much talent on that roster, and yeah, for sure they're just going to be a step up. Berlin's an amazing city, so can't wait to travel back there and maybe see some old friends. And yeah, expecting a super tough game, and hopefully we're 2-0 by that stage.
Yeah,
So,
and that one, Jenny, of course, is, you're right. That's a brand new team. Werner's got in there, and they're doing some good stuff. They're going to be much improved, and all these teams really, I think, could be really improved. So it's going to be a battle week in and week out. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, and then week number 3 brings you to Düsseldorf, another new team, a big question mark. What do you think is Rheinfire going to be like?
Well, I think they're going to have that passionate fan base. So I think you're going to have that and have to come into an atmosphere that's going to be tough. We're also going to be battling those 3 games on the road to open the year, which is, so we're road warriors there for those first 3 games. But yeah, Rhine is sort of an unknown just because we don't have a lot on them. But again, I don't expect any weak games at all. I don't expect them to be an easy opponent for us. So we've got to get through those first 2 steps and get there and face what I think is going to be a tough environment.
Oh yeah. And you just mentioned it, that your schedule contains a lot of traveling, and especially for you will have to fly out to each and every game. There's a time difference, and other teams maybe just get on a bus. Do you think that this is something that the Rams might be struggling with? Jared, from a player's perspective?
Well, it's interesting to say that. I'm currently doing it right now. So I'm working during the week and I'm playing for a team in Melbourne. So I'm in Brisbane right now. So I'm getting a bit of a feel for it, just flying in for the game and then flying back out. And honestly, I actually enjoy flying. You can kind of get into your zone and get mentally prepared. I guess it's definitely going to be a factor coming all the way from Istanbul. And like you said, the time zone can be a killer. So that'll be interesting how that all plays out. But luckily, week 4, we got Vienna coming to us.
Exactly, your very first home game. Will your stadium be ready then? Because it's going to be rebuilt at the moment, isn't it?
We'll see. It's again, COVID has played havoc with it, and the economy here, of course, has really shifted since we were here in September. Since I got here in September, with the currency devaluation, it's really lost 40% of its value in the last year, and gas prices have tripled. So it's inflation skyrocketing. So the economic situation in Turkey is not ideal. But the thing about Turkey is that even if that stadium doesn't end up being ready, there are several really good stadiums that we'll have, and of course we'll get that done in early enough time, to make sure ticketing and all that stuff goes through. And we want to put obviously a great performance together for these teams that are going to travel. Chris, the head coach from Vienna, and Max and those guys, I know them really well. And super organization. I'm really glad we get to face off with them in that first game. I'm glad that we're playing them in week 4, not week 1.
Oh yeah.
So, and they're really good, class organization. I really like those guys. So it's fun meeting those guys. We want to beat them on the field, but we're friends off the field.
And it's your first game at home in front of your big fan crowd. What can you tell us about the Istanbul Rams fans? What are they like? Are they supporting you a lot?
There are a lot more of them than I thought. So we have University League going on right now, and with COVID and all the restrictions, you just wouldn't think there would be that many people. But our away game that we traveled, the first game that we played, there were more than 1,000 people at the game just for the university game. The home game that we just held on Sunday yesterday, they maxed it out. They couldn't get any more people. It's not a big stadium where we play at on the home campus, but they actually had police trying to keep people away from the field. It was that packed all the way around it. So they're going to come. They're going to have. They are excited for it, and that's kind of what kind of a little bit shocked me. They had the national team game, I think, in October. That stadium was sold out for that game, so they're going to be good. And then, of course, I know in Germany, with the large Turkish population in Germany, we're going to have some fans that we're going to gain in Germany and Austria that are going to be at our games there. So we just love it. That's what we're hoping is that those guys are coming to those games in addition to those Istanbul Rams.
I'm pretty sure they will, Jared. Are you looking forward to that part as well? The fan hype?
Yeah, no, for sure. That was one of the best things in Kiel when I was in Germany, like just having that massive fan base. That's something you don't get. I mean, the crowd at an Australian American football game is the parents and the brothers and sisters of the players. So heading to, having like a whole kind of country to get behind the team. Like I'm assuming like they're going to favor the Istanbul Rams over another team. And having that support is just going to be incredible. Like I said, the best thing in Kiel was just having like a packed house, looking up at the crowd and like they're all supporting you and big play. That's like my favorite sound is like the big play and you hear the crowd just cheer and it's just incredible. So very much looking forward to that.
And then week 5 brings you all the way to Barcelona, to the Barcelona Dragons. And I know that they have a pretty strong and fun fan base as well. So the stadium was always a huge party.
Yeah, they, of course, and that puts us, our fourth road game in five weeks. In Barcelona, if you look at Barcelona at the end of the season, that's a pretty good football team. And they have some weapons. They lost a couple, but they're going to be improved. They're going to be a better football team. And like you said, going there, that's another long trip for us. And then you fly in, and then you've got to bus out and things like that. So it's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah. But then week 6 is another home game. The Hamburg Sea Devils are coming to visit you in Turkey. What would you say? What advantage have the Rams over the other franchises in general? I mean, you mentioned that you're probably going to have a pretty strong roster. I know that the team exists since 2004, and your facilities are probably one of the best that we have in Europe. What else? What makes you positive and optimistic that the Rams are going to come pretty far this season?
Well, we really like having that infrastructure. When I came down to the Rams game with the Panthers in 2019, and I got to see the campus and I got to see the facilities, I thought this is a sleeping giant here with what we've got. So it's really nice to be able to have your gym, your meeting rooms, your practice field top notch, and we're able to have meetings with players up, a couple hundred players in a room at a time, and then we can break off into offensive, defensive rooms that are smaller, and then go down. Having the gym, 3 gyms really, cardio and whatnot, full-time strength and conditioning coach, and having the practice field there, it makes it nice, and the guys like it. Every import that I really talked to, and that was part because I had to do my due diligence and before taking the job as well, is they love it, and I really like the culture here, the city, it's amazing, and really I think the guys are going to have a great time.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And then there's a bye week in week 7, Jared. I'm sure you will enjoy that. And then, well, I mean, it's gonna start all over again with the Dragons, Sea Devils, Rheinfire, Vikings, Thunder, and Cologne Centurions in week 14. What do you think? Will you be fighting for the playoffs there? For a seat in the playoff games?
Well, that's why we play this. We want to be in the playoffs. We want to be a playoff football team. at that point, week 14, it's probably it's going to be decided at that already, probably at that point. We're going to worry about that first Cologne game, for that second one. That's a long ways away. And kind of way we do things here is we really don't focus on the opponents and things like that. What we try to do, and this is a motto that we go through with our team, is that we just want to be better. We measure ourselves every day. So we want to be better than we were yesterday on that football field. And even though we won the football game, we have corrections for those university guys. And we just say every day, are you better at the end of that practice than you were the day before at the end of that game? And that's how we measure ourselves. And really the results take care of themselves at that point. We just can't worry about anything else other than us doing our job, me trying to get our coaches in place for them to do their job. We've got a great coaching staff. We've got great imports. We've got great national team guys. They're excited on a level that just hasn't ever happened here like that. So I think that's what we can bring to the table, is that we're going to fight every single game and every single down to prove ourselves worthy of being here.
Yeah, well, you just mentioned the level of play. Even though it's just the beginning of the European League of Football, it started off so well. And would you say that the ELF can bring football on a professional level over the next couple of years in Europe?
Absolutely. I think, these startups, we have USFL, I think, coming up, and we got XFL, I think that's coming out. We've had a couple of those. This is the critical year, really, for us to take that step up. I'm sure Jared's the same way as I am. This is the reason I'm here, this opportunity. I would not be back to coach a team that wasn't competing in this league in Europe, because this is the standard bearer for years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's your prediction? Who will the Istanbul Rams play against on September 25th in Klagenfurt at the championship game? Will you make it all the way?
Prediction?
A worthy opponent. That's all I'm going to say. It would have worked.
Well, I can tell you that I know the Panthers want to play us. And that's a good football team.
Why'd you have to bring that baggage, coach? Like, this is a motivation against us, man. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. So, but no, I mean, there's so many good teams that, like what Jared said, worthy opponent is going to be there for us. So we got to get there first. That's the big thing.
It's a long way to go, but I mean, just listening to you, I'm quite optimistic. It's going to be very interesting with all the new teams who joined the league. I can't wait for it to start. And I'm super happy to see you play on June the 1st. June the 4th, I mean. The first game on June the 4th.
Appreciate it. Who do you think we're going to play, Jennifer?
Well, yeah, I can see the Panthers.
Yeah.
I think Berlin Thunder are going to be very strong as well. And then the Austrian teams, let's see. But those four are my top favorite teams, like in terms of who are going to go very far.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you too. Leipzig's scaring me with
Leipzig.
With every signing that they get. Fred's got them rolling up. So, like I said, I think all these teams they've got a shot. They've got a shot. So.
Yeah. No, it's I'm excited. I'm hyped. And then, of course, as we just mentioned, the Klagenfurt game. For those of you who missed it in Düsseldorf, the atmosphere and the game were amazing. So don't miss out Klagenfurt on September 25th. You can still buy your tickets, and there are VIP packages, travel packages available on the website. So check those out. And you guys, thank you so very much for your time. It was a great pleasure to get to know the Istanbul Rams a little bit better. And looking forward to seeing you in June.
Appreciate it, Jennifer. Thanks for having us on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jenny. Yep, really appreciate it.
And thanks for watching. See you soon.
Harry Harris to go.